Here is a look at my current small pond, the status and the stocking level. I've moved a lot of the fish into the larger pond right here for growing, since the weather is going to warm up, so we're going to want to make sure we're growing them out. And some of the larger ones in here are going to get picked up eventually, or they're on reserve for other people, but most of them are at the point where I can transfer them over to make room, because I have more fish coming for this year to try to grow out and see what I can get. Here is a batch that here's a batch that I recently got. This time I'm gonna try to get a lot of gosanke to see if we can get some nice growth from these. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the pond. Alright, let me set this down here and then we're gonna take a look at them real quick. Let's see. What I really want to do is, let me flip this, turn it around. Here we go. What we really want to do is get the fish out and then take some pictures of them, simply because I want to get some records to see what they look like growing up. Okay. Alright, and we're going to get a different combination of fish here, so it's going to be really interesting to see. I'm just going to unload them. Oh, I don't want that stuff. For now I'm just using tap water because it just allows the fish to get clean as well. Then what I'll do is I'll put them in a small bowl. No, I'm gonna put in a small bowl here. Take a picture. But we got 40 pieces of Kohaku and Showa, and 3 tiny little fish for fun. The little tamasaba fish. Wow, these look really interesting. They're like tiny little golf balls. Look at that. So I want to see what they look like when they get bigger. They're pretty cute though. I was told that these can live with the koi without issues, so that's why I'm getting them. Alright. So the Kohaku, the standard Kohaku or Sakai fish, the Ginrin are from Matsue. So the Ginrin versions are from Matsue. I only have 2 Showa here, but these came from Isa. Like this one is kind of interesting here. We have nice pattern around them. Actually, let's take a closer look at the fish. It'll be easier this way. Alright, let me flip this around. Okay, so as I mentioned, we got Sakai fish and Isa and Matsue fish. Now, the Kohaku, let me see, we have these Ginrin Kohaku right here are from Matsue. They look pretty nice, so selected a few for fun. The Sakai fish, we'll see how they grow. As you know, I previously picked up some additional fish at Koi, the Koi show in San Diego. I got some Momotaro, and it'll definitely be interesting to see how those compare. Yeah, this Isa fish is actually pretty nice right here. Check this one out. It's got a nice pattern, nice color on the head. This one's pretty unique too. This one possibly even better. check out this little baby. All right, here we go. I'll see if I can catch it. Look at this one. It's pretty nice. They all have pretty nice pattern. We'll see how the body develop. Like this fish right here. This is actually kind of cool. I think this pattern when the fish gets bigger, it's gonna look pretty nice. If the color holds. That's one of the things that I'm concerned with this little tosai is whether or not the color is gonna hold. We're gonna try and hope that the color maintains or gets even better. I think without a doubt that with this many fish, there's gonna be a number of them that's gonna go bad. 10-20%. It's just very random. But my hope is the fact that they came from a well-known brand, a breeder, that they'll last and maintain. But it's still a risky prospect when it comes to tosai. Like for example this fish right here, it's got a little bit of scratch on the head. We're hoping that when it grows that it develops and covers back, and you know, so that the red will come back. That's not a deep gouge, so hopefully it'll be okay. These little tamasapas are so interesting, so we're gonna see how well they get along with the koi. I've never had them in my pond before, so this will be the first time. And look at this fish right here. It's already pretty big, so it can be one that can eat. Probably gonna eat a lot right here. Look at this guy. We got some potentially really good fish here, so like this Sakai right here. The Sakai right here is kind of interesting. It's got a really nice Kohaku pattern, and the black is pretty much in all the right spots. You got like the little lipsticks going on. Benny Coochie right on the lips. There are some fish that I am a little bit concerned with. I think, yeah, the one with the scratch on the forehead right here. I was very curious to see how that grows. Actually, that's why I got the fish. I didn't take it out because even though it presents a potential risk, but sometimes it's kind of interesting to see whether or not it can develop and thicken up to the point where the scratch on the head gets covered. Like this one's got nice soft benny right here. This one, nice soft benny. Very simple two-step, but yeah, the benny coverage is pretty good. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put them in the small bowl, snap a picture, and then throw them into this here so I don't mix them up together. And then I'm gonna drop a little bit potassium permanganate, and then we're gonna throw them back into the pond. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna fast forward this part because it's just me taking pictures. So those are the fish. Oh, it's not that clear. Okay, let me see. Yep, so just took some pictures, and this is what they look like at this tiny little box. I'm gonna throw in some powder and then just let them go into the pond. and then we'll keep these and we'll track these and see how they develop over the year. I'm hoping to grow maybe 5-6. That's really nice to keep. And the 3 Tamasaba right here. little tiny little golf balls. Here is the other batch of fish that I'll be growing out this year. I just got this bag this morning, and it was very, very heavy. It was the heaviest koi bag I've ever had to lift and transfer. But in many ways, that's actually a good thing. Gives the fish a lot of water, but not too much, and a lot of air, which helps them, stay alive. But this was delivered by or through Southwest Cargo, meaning you gotta pick it up at the cargo close to the airport, and it is the fastest way to ship fish or live animal, and it is also the safest way. This one was double bag, which is great. So I already took off the rubber band on one. Now I'm took off the other one, and let me see if I can slowly just let the fish come out. I already had it sitting in the water for a while. I also put water inside between the bags to kind of help adjust the temperature and let the fish get used to it. So now we're gonna just slide it out, and let's see what we get. Okay, there we go. Okay, so for this year I've decided to grow more Karashi out, and these are the Ginrin variety. Unlike my previous Growout batch from Dainichi, Yellow Monkey, these are Yagenji, so they're from a different breeder, Yagenji. But based on what I'm seeing here, last time when I ordered like 150 pieces, they came in a lot of different shades, so I was getting like brown and dark color ones. But the Yagenji fish here, actually I really like the way they're looking right now, because I don't see any like dark ones or brown ones. They all have the Karashi color that I like. You got some orange, some yellow, some mustard color, like they're supposed to be. Form size, they're pretty uniform. They look about between 9 to 9 inches, maybe 8 inches, 7-8 inches. But they look pretty good. They seem a little tired though, especially some of these right here. Okay, so we're gonna, well, I got 50 pieces, so there should be 50 pieces here. Since they're kind of slow right now, it's probably easy to count. So let's see. We got, oh, well, I'm just gonna assume there's 50 pieces here. But let's take a look at the Ginrin. They look pretty nice and full. Body looks pretty good too. Color's pretty uniform. Let's see if I notice anything unique. I mean, if you were to put these babies next to the Dainichi Yellow Monkey, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference. Very similar in color, shape, body size. So it'll be really interesting to see how these grow, and we'll see if they have maybe 5 or 6 that can get really big for me to keep. Okay, let's see. We got some really nice golden one as well. Like this one's nice and golden right here. Some do have more ginrin than others. I think that's to be expected. But overall, the Yagenji, the color right now looks good. The body looks good too, based on the small size. So once these go into the pond, it's definitely gonna be it's definitely gonna be a little more crowded in my pond. But at this size, it really doesn't matter. It's gonna take a very long time for this size to start growing throughout the summer. And once they're growing, we'll be able to slowly transfer them out. But for now, we'll see how they eat. We're gonna see how they grow, and most importantly, I want to see if they match up to the yellow monkey in any way, shape, or form. Because the yellow monkey are definitely more popular, but it doesn't mean that these can't be as good, because based on the size I remember the yellow monkey, they look very similar to this, and some were even smaller than these right here. These are actually on average bigger than the yellow monkey that I got, for sure, on average. But at this stage, it's really difficult to tell, because you can't really predict how all of these are gonna grow. Sometimes you get a tiny little runt like that, and give them a year or two, and they might become the biggest one. I was surprised the water in the cargo is actually pretty warm, and the water inside the bag. So yeah, I didn't put in too much cold water. We're gonna slowly let them get adjusted. I'm gonna add more water onto here from the pond, and then we're gonna dip them in PP once they seem a little calmer and more active, because right now they look a little sluggish. They just came out. The water is probably a little bit colder than what they're used to, even though I mixed a little bit of the pond water in only. But it's a temperature change, so it's gonna give them a minute to get used to it. Yeah, see, so they're slowly waking up right now and swimming a little bit more. We did have a few unfortunate fish that seems to have lost a few scales. I noticed, like this one right here, some of the scales were lost right here on that one. And you know, with the ginrin scale, depending on the location, the vast majority of times the scale that grows back, it will not have the ginrin. Let's see, what else did we notice? This one also has lost 2 scales on each side right here. I can see it because this bare skin is showing through. We have some that have more of a kind of a darker orange, almost, I wouldn't say red, but it's a darker orange, like these right here. These are gonna be nice, but I kind of wish there was some more red fish here, because the red Karashi is actually really nice. The most common Karashi color that we're gonna see is the mustard color. I guess that's what Karashi stands for, or translates to, mustard. But my favorite Karashi actually are the yellow ones, like the nice golden yellow ones, like some of these right here. Nice golden yellow. This one right here. This will grow pretty nice too. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about trying out something different, because I think many times people get fixated on a particular breeder, and I know that in Japan they often exchange parent fish or use parent fish from various breeders,
even though they will eventually go under their own name. The parent fish comes from, common, popular, big name breeders. So I expect the result to be very similar. If anything, it is within the group of parents that they have and use is what distinguishes the fish from one another, not so much from the entire farm, but sometimes they just have a set of parents that produces a certain type of offspring that they really want or like, and then they keep using it. But once the parent set stops being productive, they're gonna have to switch up parents. And in most cases, the breeders in Japan are pretty friendly towards one another with sharing tips and advice and parent fish. So it's not uncommon to see a smaller name like Yagenji possibly using bigger brand, a name from more well-known breeders like Konishi or Dainichi or Sakai. That's just my speculation. I don't know the exact details, but from watching interviews and seeing what people say, that's what the breeders in Japan are all about. The the koi capital in Niigata is not a large area, so word gets around, people share secrets. All in what I'm saying is, it might not be Dainichi Yellow Monkey, but I don't expect it to be any worse. So we're gonna grow this out, and then we're gonna see the results in the coming year. Alright, so now they look a lot more active, they're more adjusted. They're swimming around a little bit more, which is great. That's a good sign. They just needed a minute to kind of get adjusted. Now I'm gonna have to add a little bit more water in here so that eventually it matches the pond temperature, so there's no shocking to the fish. Alright, so we'll keep posted about this for the next year or two and see how they ultimately grow up. This is the last set that went inside here for a potassium permanganate bath. As you can see, just getting a nice wash before I throw them into the pond. Pretty active. I usually let them stay here for like 2 minutes. It's a pretty stressful period for them, getting shipped, getting cleaned up, adjusting to the water, and now bathed in this purple color water. But it really does help though, kind of cleans them off. As you can see, they're getting adjusted pretty well over here, just swimming around, enjoying the big space, and hopefully this year we'll be able to feed a lot more compared to last year, because the pond has gotten better in terms of the biome. I'm really amazed by the growth of some of the momotaro fish I got. I mean, never underestimate the amount of food they need. Alright, let's scoop these out. So this is what I've been doing. Just taking them in, like deep frying them this thing, and then just let them cook and let them drain, and then they go in here just like that. There you go. that's the last few. Let's see if there's any more in here. Don't want to leave anyone behind. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There we go. That was it. That's how I spend my morning. Alright, we will keep a regular update, and I have to remove some of the old Ginrin fish out here so that I don't confuse them.